This is the new 17 Pro Max. It costs $1,099. That's a lot of money for a phone. In fact, it's the most expensive phone I've ever seen, and I don't think I'm alone. Phones are getting more expensive, and they seem to be doing so at a faster rate than ever before. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is $200 more expensive than last year's 16 Pro Max. The Pixel 8 Pro is $100 more expensive than last year's Pixel 7 Pro. Samsung's Galaxy S23 Ultra is $200 more expensive than last year's S22 Ultra. On top of that, phones seem to be innovating at a slower pace. We're reaching the peak version of the phone, if you will. There's still plenty of room for innovation in things like processing power and AI, but less so when it comes to the design of the hardware. Take a look at the iPhone 17 Pro Max next to an iPhone 12 Pro Max. They look pretty similar, right? Well, the 17 Pro Max has a slightly updated camera module and a slightly updated bezel. Other than that, they look pretty similar. And that's kind of the story with most phones these days. There's been a lot of innovation in things like foldable phones and rollable phones, but those are still very much the exception rather than the rule. Most phones today are iterative updates. They might have a slightly better camera or a slightly faster processor, but nothing really new. So why are phones getting so expensive? Well, there's a few reasons. First of all, the cost of components is going up. Things like AI and the metaverse and whatnot require a lot of processing power, which means the cost of processors is going up. Additionally, there's a lot of research and development that goes into things like 5G and Wi-Fi 7 and whatnot. Those costs are also passed on to the consumer. But maybe the biggest reason of all is that companies like Apple, Samsung, and Google can get away with charging more. People are willing to pay more for their products than ever before. In fact, the average selling price of a smartphone reached a record $362 in 2022. That's up from $334 in 2021 and $281 in 2015. The bottom line is that people are willing to pay more for phones than ever before. Companies can charge more because people are willing to pay more. All of this has led to what I think is the death of innovation. When was the last time you saw a truly innovative phone? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Now, if you're wondering how much it costs Apple to make one iPhone 17, the answer is $446. That's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Of course, that's just the cost of materials and labor. It doesn't include things like marketing and R&D. If you want to know how much it costs Apple to make one iPhone 17 out of millions of them, the answer is $446 million. That's how much it costs Apple to make 1 million iPhone 17s. Of course, Apple doesn't actually sell the iPhone 17 for $446. They sell it for $799. That's how much it costs Apple to make one iPhone 17 out of millions of them. But hey, who's counting? Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.